while there's some people ranting and raving and in your face and Facebook messages all over and posting all kinds of political crazy bullshit and all this and opinions and all this other stuff. And then there's another chunk of people who are just afraid to say anything, afraid to give their opinion. And I think that speaks for a lot of us, unfortunately. And I'm sitting here realizing, why am I afraid? This is why it's been a week since I made a video. This is why it's almost 3 since I made a video on camera. Is as much as you say you want to say what you feel, and it's hard to do. It's really hard to do. It's not impossible, but it's tricky. And I think the reason why it's tricky, excuse me, and welcome back. Welcome back. I think the reason why it's tricky is because I don't think most people truly realize how powerful this thing on your body is, and how amazing it is, and how complex it is, and how that can be used for good or bad. And you can be conscious of that and still get fooled, and still get manipulated because of our damn emotions. Some of us have a bigger heart than others, and we're emotionally driven. All of us are emotionally driven creatures. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see. I don't know everything, but deer aren't in the woods worried about taxes, or worried about there's not a bear in the woods worried about this female bear that doesn't like them. Or they get over stuff. You know what I mean? They don't even get over stuff. Nothing. They don't live that way. Now I get it. Obviously, we're humans. We're much more complex, and therein lies the problem, because everything that's on these screens, except for me, of course, is there to manipulate you and make you move a certain way. And I feel like there's too many rabbit holes. Like, you can go down rabbit holes for a million different things. And every time you do, you're not going to learn. You never really get to the bottom. I've never gotten to the bottom of any rabbit hole that I've had interest in, whether it's guitar, whether it's you name it. There's conspiracy theories, JFK, 9/11, whatever you want to look into. You'll realize it's an endless pursuit. There's always more information. There's always contradicting information. There's always whatever. So when we're digging into these rabbit holes of nothingness, and all that time, we're not living. We're not experiencing things. We're not connecting. And the more we do that, the more we're just lost. And I talk to my girlfriend about this pretty much every day, or every time we talk about, just how weird everything feels. In the 90s, I just use the 90s as an example. Like, you look back in the 90s, there was money flowing. Like, a middle class was rocking and rolling. There were, I hate to say this, you got to be careful, because this is where a lot of the problem lies, in this idol worshiping and these celebrity worship. But you had people, and you had celebrities, and you had people worth following and respecting. You know what I mean? There was more of a just a higher class. You know what I mean? Like, the athletes. Yeah, there were still people doing crazy shit, but you could look up to some of these people and get something from them. Jordan was classy, and I don't want to hear people pick apart. We could pick apart everybody, but you had somebody not like a LeBron James, where you're like, God, like, how miserable is this guy? How fragile is he? His ego. I've never seen anyone handle themselves the way that he does. Kobe wasn't like that. MJ, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. These were guys that even when my parents watched and my dad would watch, they'd say, "Oh, here's a guy," or "Oh, look at Jordan in the suit." My dad always loved when he see Jordan in the suit. He'd be like, "That's a professional," stuff like that. That's all purposely taken away. These things are chopped off. Like, I would say probably the last 15 years. And that's done on purpose. They don't want us to connect. And then we're searching the people who do want to connect. You have to go to nature. That's the only place. I don't know if this is going to fly. It's the only place you could truly connect. And you don't have to go out to the Rockies or the Adirondacks, or you could go right in your neighborhood, go for a nice walk. Make these things happen. Sit in the sunshine for 10 minutes, even on a cold day, and get something from your surroundings that's not man-made and contrived and made to make you feel a certain way. So getting back into my on-screen videos here, I just decided to I owe it to anybody who watches any of my videos, even if it's 5 people. I owe it to those 5 people, and I owe it to myself mostly. That's what's really got me crazy. It's like, man, when you get done with some of these videos that I leave some things on the table because I didn't want to upset a certain person out there. And why are we so afraid to upset that one person or that negative commenter or that nothing that's really said is most of the time in these conversations, unless it's something, specific, but we're just talking about, how evil politics are, how evil the mainstream media is, how everything is fake and contrived, and it's been fake and contrived. Even for me to say that, I used to worry about, oh, what do you mean it's fake? What did I say that's so bad there? It's not even not true. It's not an opinion anymore. And I say these things because, earlier on in this channel, which isn't that long ago, you know, I'd say like I love you all. I put in my description I love you all, and I really do. And the older I get, I realize that even the people who I may have a problem with or I don't see eye to eye with, I now realize that we're all the way we are because of the way we've been steered and programmed, for lack of a better word. Emotionally steered. So I give people leeway now. If I don't agree with someone or I think that they're doing something that's even hateful, like you see this stuff after I hate to bring up politics here and stuff, but you can't avoid it in this world. Now I'm not on either side. You're never going to see me vote again. You're never going to see me. It's a two-headed monster that I'm never going to be a part of again. But I do that I do it from a place of love because I don't want to see. I used to be such a devout, patriotic guy. I was so into putting the flag up in the front of the house. I used to get misty eyed on the 4th of July and all the pertinent holidays where you put the flag out. And I can't fake it anymore. And I shouldn't be afraid to say that I'm disgusted with our country. And not even so much the people, which you would probably think, and maybe my knee jerk reaction normally would be, these people are idiots. How come they can't see this? How can you not see this? I know why people can't see certain things because I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. I had my head so far up Trump's ass 5 years ago, you couldn't tell me nothing. It's embarrassing. It feels good to let these things out. It really does. I recommend anyone on the verge, you're a little afraid of doing a YouTube channel. I mean, if I can do this and have the balls to do this, you can do it even much better than me. So my purpose of breaking the ice back in here is basically the theme is now that I'm all over the place and I got coffee running through my veins, is I'm encouraging you to let go a little and not be so afraid, just like I'm trying to do. I'm hoping you can kind of, maybe I can inspire some people to finally say, you know what? I do want to have my opinion because I care about things. I care about our country. I care about this one life I have. I care about even strangers. I care about everybody because it's such a deep, deep, evil rooted ruse. And meanwhile, we're wasting our lives, and day after day after day, we're spent talking about these things and commiserating instead of just going out and going for a nice walk. And here's where I'm going to steal from John Levi. Let's take a break. All right, it's good to have a break because this stuff gets too crazy, and I don't want to make my videos too long-winded because take something if you can from it. I'm hoping that in my comments, I'm hoping that I can hear from other people in the same boat as me, where you want to make your opinions and you want to point things out that are fake as fuck. You know what I mean? You want to point out things that are evil because maybe you yourself have come a long way, like I've come a long way. I can't believe how I used to be, but that's okay. It's understandable. I mean, this is, we got to stop thinking that there's this perfect ideal. Like, oh, if that guy, if he wasn't in the, if he was just on the left side, he'd be okay. But I can't be friends with him. Oh, if he was on the right with me, he'd be okay. But I don't know about him. We got to stop with that. You can't judge. It's got to be the people. We're the people. There's one party. It's the people. So I just wish we would. And my hope is that you can maybe see this, and this will free you like it freed me. As I started looking into things and saying, okay, what the hell's going on here? How does this stuff really work? Going way back to the Romans, back to the Mayans, all the original civilizations, and you start to see how things and why they're set up. And then as you start to get closer and closer, it doesn't take you long to put the pieces together. And then you realize, shit, man, the hell have I been doing? Feeding this system, causing this hate, being on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook. It's probably been 2 years I haven't been on like at all. One thing I always will be is a caring individual. And if I say something that upsets someone, I don't want to. And I would hope that they would see that, I mean well, I care. And you know what? If you can, in a classy way, correct me or give me a rebuttal, listen, it's not about being right or wrong. I change my view and my mind on a minute by minute basis. I'm never just stuck in one spot. And I think that's the scary thing when you're just like, I'm a conservative, I'm Catholic, I've been doing this for years, it's just the way it is. It's a dangerous place to be. It really is. Open your mind and experiment a little. I'm imploring you guys, whoever's watching this, to be more courageous because that's what I'm trying to do. Be more courageous, but have some compassion too. You can say your opinion and not be mean about it and be judging, because now you're being what you claim to hate or claim to be against. All right. That's all I got for today. I will be back soon. Anyone who's watching this, I appreciate it. If it's something you want to have, some open discussion, I am trying to get this more on a regular basis because I love the conversation, and that's the only way things are going to change. Hope it's not making a noise. Hope it's the only way things are going to change is if we talk about it. All right, let's see you next time.